Hello, guys.
Hello there.
Haiti.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for that.
And tonight,
Yes.
as promised, we are here to discuss seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Bleach, one of the greatest anime of all time. Cre-
Yep.
yep, it's created in Japan by the same company that made Naruto.
Studio Parrot. Yeah.
Yep, it's incredible. Yeah, what drew me into this was the titular character Ichigo Kurosaki, along with his arch nemesis Sasuke Aizen, and the hollow that killed his mother, known as Grand Fisher. It starts off with Ichigo growing up in a Japanese town called Karakura, where he was living a life as a normal person, when suddenly he meets a mysterious woman named Ruki Akushiki, who he would, who thought he was some kind of stranger, but was more than meets the eye. And she is what they would call a soul reaper.
Mhm.
Yep. And hello to Sean Franklin. Now, what do you guys know about soul reapers?
Soul Reapers are basically, and sorry if my throat sounds a little off. I just have a sore throat today, so if I don't talk as much, it's because of that. So no hard feelings. But the
Not
Soul
at
Reapers
all.
are basically the Grim Reapers of this universe. Basically, like they have to take the souls and purify and cleanse the good and the bad spirits and good spirits and souls, like,
Send them
and
on
then
to the
send
Soul
them
Society.
into the Soul Society, which is basically the court or the place where they get judged, right? So, and depending on the person, right? If you're a good person, then nothing bad will happen. If you're evil soul or hollow, right?
Yeah.
Something bad will happen to you. So it's
Yep.
pretty cool. I like this idea, and I like the fact that they took inspiration from Yu Yu Hakusho, which you could clearly tell that Ichigo is inspired by Yusuke and Kuwabara.
Cool.
The only difference is he doesn't do the spirit gun. He does the spirit sword that Kuwabara does, basically. Like, he uses swords. And a little bit of Hiei, because Hiei used swords as well, has the spiky, stereotypical anime hair. So
Yeah.
he has a little inspiration from that. And Kubo got rejected a bunch of times trying to do this series because they kept telling him it was too much like Yu Yu Hakusho.
Huh.
And he got very frustrated, and Akira Toriyama, of all people, helped him.
Yeah.
He
Yeah. It's a,
guided him to be like, look, you just keep changing things, okay? Because look, I had to go through that when I was younger too. Like, I don't like it either, but you just change a couple of things, and then eventually you'll get accepted, and that's what happened. Because it was too similar to Yu Yu Hakusho. Probably they didn't want to get sued by the creator of Yu Yu Hakusho, so it makes sense.
yep.
Because in Japan, you technically or partially own your material, your manga series. It's not like here in the West where if you go to Marvel or DC, you basically sell your rights, right? It's more like Image Comics over there, which is cool. It's more like Image and Wildstorm, where you can own your own thing.
Well,
That's why
Wildstorm
in
is owned by DC now
well,
because
now I'm talking about like
yeah, yeah.
before the purchase of DC, right? Wildstorm and Image, you can own your own characters, and then now it's changed, but the recently, Akira Toriyama in the 90s, right? He sold his rights, but he was such a strong influence that they said, screw it. It doesn't matter if you don't own it or not. We'll let you come up with whatever you want. So Kubo owns Bleach still, some portions of it. So he eventually got accepted, and the rest is history. So
Yep, we know.
he got it, which is good.
Yeah, and Johnny Yambat, he definitely voiced Ichigo. He was
Yeah, and
also
that's
the
and if I'm not mistaken, he was prior to Bleach, right? Besides the
but
Power Rangers.
Yeah, good.
yeah, thanks for
Hey,
joining.
Vagabond.
Hey.
Prior to Bleach, right? He voiced Kaneda in the redub of Akira, right? So this was
Mhm.
like one of his first leads in an anime series. He was usually like a side character,
Yep,
if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. So how much is your knowledge on Bleach? But Runaway.
Honestly, I don't remember that much of Bleach. So all I know is Ichigo and the girl that was helping him out, and then it was one of those shows that
You mean Rukia, right? Rukia.
yes,
Yeah.
I only seen the first season, but in spurts. It was like, you know how people will like wake up from their sleep and then it was Inuyasha. Well, I would wake up from my sleep and it was Bleach. So-
Oh, dude, I remember that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I would fall asleep. And I would fall asleep, and it would either be oh my gosh, Neon Genesis Evangelion, or
Yeah.
what was the other show? Oh my gosh, the one with the cyborgs. Oh my god, what is it called? It literally dropped a blank right here.
What on Tanami, right? Or
Yeah.
or
Cyborg 009.
No,
Oh, yeah.
the chick detective. I really
Oh.
know what it is, but I can't remember the name right now.
Wait, it's an anime. You said
Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell.
Oh,
I just
oh.
literally remembered it. It just came
Alright.
to me. So it's either Ghost in the Shell or Neon Genesis Evangelion. Like, I'd fall asleep, and that would be like on 3 in the morning, my
Yeah.
time.
Well, because they were rerun Inuyasha, whatever, and Bleach. It was just I would always fall asleep and wake up to Bleach, and I would barely be awake. So, but like Inuyasha, I was all down for. But yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily a Bleach guy. Like I seen clips and stuff, but and then I think a lot of I would see a lot of filler. So when
I
wake
would
up
watch
to it.
Bleach like on Saturdays, because prior to Toonami coming back, Adult Swim would have anime night
Yeah.
for Saturday.
Yeah. Like
And
One
it was-
Piece and Naruto and Bleach got moved over there.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
what happened. It's nothing wrong with resurrecting the anime block with Toonami, because Toonami was more iconic, right? Nothing against the robot voice, like this is anime hour on Adult Swim, right?
Yep.
I prefer Tom's doing that than the robot voice, but
Yeah, and this is the first hollow that Ichigo defeated. Once he had Rukia surrendered her powers to him.
yeah, she accidentally gave him too much, or he took too much. Something
Yeah.
happened there.
I say it's
Bit of
like
both.
binged the first season yesterday since they haven't watched this in 20 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, I had to watch it because I barely remember it. Because, dude, this is a good show, but when you don't watch something and you watch a whole bunch of other things, your mind draws
Yeah.
a blank.
Yeah, like the only person I ever named that I remember was Ichigo. And so
Well, I
Yeah.
always call him basically Yusuke or Kuwabara clone, which he was. Not an insult, but that this story was supposed to be like inspired by Yu Yu Hakusho.
yeah,
It's just more of a Kuwabara thing because Kuwabara used his spirit sword.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of, While dealing with hollows, they start to learn more about them as we move on to the next episode. The next one he fought was a hollow called Acid Wire. Yeah, yeah, a tragic one who didn't become a hollow by choice but was forced.
Yes, Sora.
Yeah. What is it? Orihime's older brother.
Orihime's
Yes.
big brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sora.
Yeah, who just
and it's sad because she told him like, please don't leave me, and she would pray for him every day until she met a friend and basically forgot about him,
yep,
or
Yep,
she
and-
chose to. She was like, I'm sorry, I stopped praying because it was my fault. If I wanted you to go to the spirit world, I didn't want you to be stuck here, but I was wrong.
Yep.
So
yeah. Acid Wire was quite a tragic kind of hollow, and one and it was quite sad for Orihime that her big brother had to become a monster.
I will say this though, the one thing that I didn't like about Bleach was they erased the memories a lot. I'm not a fan of that.
Oh yeah,
I don't like that because they kind of took that from Yu Yu Hakusho when Yusuke came back. Oh no, he never died. I'm like, what are you talking about?
oh. You mean they were erasing the memories? But
That was like a 5-episode arc of him reviving himself.
Yeah, and everybody was like, acknowledge he's dead now. It's like, no, guys, he never died. He was in a, like, I would have believed it if they said he was in a coma, right? If they would have told everybody, oh no, he was in a coma. No, he never died. He just was never going to school for months. Let's
Yeah.
go with that.
He was a perpetual truant.
It's just ridiculous. Like everybody, including Kuwabara, forgot that he was dead. And then they did it in this show and in the manga. I'm like, you know, you don't have to lie to people. They can keep that to themselves. They're not gonna. Nobody's gonna believe them, anyways, right? Because in this world, most people are not in tune with the spirits, right? They don't.
We're
yeah,
operating under stand rules.
Everybody, most people outside of Ichigo's house.
Yeah, like even Ichigo, like the one with the black hair, the sister, right? Like the one, because I said black hair because he has two sisters, one
Yeah.
with blonde and the other one with black. She's like, I don't believe in it, but how can you not believe in it? The other sister asked
You
her.
can see ghosts. I
Because
choose
I
to be
accept it,
ignorant.
because if I acknowledge it, it's gonna happen.
yeah.
I choose to not
She
believe
says
it.
specifically she's in perpetual denial or something like that, or permanent denial.
Yeah. And then the dad, you know, I don't want to go too deep into that, but
Yeah, because
He
that's
has-
what
he has
season
a
8?
interesting he has an interesting past. Let's just say that.
Yep. Indeed.
He's not just a doctor. He's not just a chi doctor or an acupuncturist.
Yeah.
Oh, does he dress in drag sometimes?
Yeah, that too. And here
Well,
comes the
when you wear kimonos and stuff, I guess at that point you're like, well, it's the same thing. So
No, that I said that because there was a reference to oh crap, now I can't think of it. It wasn't Peach Girl, it was a different one. Where I think it was crap, it was another romance one where like the father of a female character, of a female. Wait, I think it was that was from Quintessential Quintuplets, actually. I think the main character's dad is like he like cross dresses.
it's also in the series. You know that what was it? You know that high school series where they're in that preppy rich kid school and that girl has to dress up like a dude.
Oh
And-
yeah,
Koran House Club.
Full Host Club.
Yeah, I remember that. I watched that. I just forgot the name. It's the one where Vic is Kaneki, and that's the only reason why I'm like I vaguely remember watching it. Her father dresses in drag. He pretends to be the mom because I think the mom died. So he's like, well, I'm gonna make her feel better by pretending to be the mom, and that made her freaked out even more.
Okay,
So-
that might be
That
where I'm
might be
remembering
scoring
it.
it all.
yeah, I remember that.
Speaking
Yeah,
of the
dude.
mom,
Orion has the best fandom I've ever encountered because it's like the moment I bring it up, I will immediately get like cheers from the people in the room who love it.
You know,
Uh-huh.
it's an interesting series because honestly, like you couldn't do that series today as a comedy for reasons. You just couldn't.
Because you can't hate the French enough.
Well, you could, but
You-
I mean, the
you could-
localizers would like put their grubby hands.
No,
all
they'll just
over it.
say that she's trans, and it's like,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
she's
that
not
too.
trans. She's sneaking into a school because she couldn't get in earlier as a girl. So-
anyway, here's Grand Fisher, the hollow that killed Ichigo's mom. Yeah, he appeared. He first appeared in the second episode of the series as the hollow who commanded others to turn Orihime's brother into a hollow, then instructed others on what it's like to be a hollow in episode 4. Finally, in episode 8, he agrees to go and to fight to confront Ichigo. In episode 9, he starts taking Ichigo's sisters hostage. And he is one evil son of a bitch for
Oh,
a
yeah.
hamster, for a mean-looking hamster monster. And believe me, each hollow is much like the ones I showed you earlier, are more often are often depicted having their depictions based off of certain animals. For Grand Fisher, they decided to go with the hamster for this one.
I know the mask is based on Kabuki, right?
Yes.
And technically, it also might be inspired by the Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees like hockey mask, because I'm pretty sure Kubo was inspired by horror movies. So I wouldn't be surprised if let's mix Kabuki with Friday the 13th with the mask.
Also, all the hollows that's there, they're wearing their own death mask.
Yes. And Jason and Michael Myers wore death mask.
Captain Kirk.
Yep.
Continue to forget there was a attempt at a live action Bleach.
They did. I saw it years ago.
Yeah, me too.
It wasn't that good. It
Nope.
could have been better.
That sounds standard at this point.
I mean, the woman who played Rukia, she was cute, but it didn't translate well. Like you could tell, like they can only do movies. They can't do a live action TV show of Bleach. You know how much money that would cost without looking hokey?
Yeah.
It's like you'd have to skip up to the Invasion of Soul Society for it to be manageable.
Yeah, like you have to do a whole compilation. The first movie would have to be a compilation of the first 3 seasons or the first 2 seasons, and then do that for it to be watchable.
Exactly.
So you can't do that. That's why like anime series, certain anime series only work in anime. They can't work in live action.
Yeah, from what we saw out of this movie, it's proof that it was not a good idea to do Bleach in live action. I mean, man, even though they were trying their best to make Grand Fisher look realistic, kind of looks a lot like a mess of spaghetti here running all over the place.
Yep. Also, at least for Rurouni Kenshin, when it was done live action, right? It's a samurai movie.
Yeah,
right?
that's mainly a normal situation.
So it's not like it's supernatural stuff other than them doing like a little bit supernatural stuff. It's not out of the realm of possibility that you can do it live action.
Yeah.
But like Dragon Ball or Naruto, like One Piece works because they spend the money on it.
Also, One Piece is innately silly.
Yes, and also they had to skip through episodes/seasons for things to work in certain ways.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Bleach is a bit silly to start with.
Yeah.
I went and I read the manga to get caught up for this. Yeah, they've got that was actually one thing I noticed.
Yeah, they
They've
got
got a lot of
that
over the
stuffed
top
animal
shonen
thing.
humor.
They
Yeah.
got that stuffed animal thing. The lion.
Oh, you can cone.
Cone.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
forgot his name, but like he is they don't
I'd
take him
only know
serious.
this because I watched it yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah, I barely remembered his names. So, but I remembered him, his design,
Yep.
and him, and people not caring about him and treating him like a joke.
Yeah. He was used to keep Ichigo's body safe from harm while he was in his Soul Reaper form.
At least for a while till he gets the badge.
Uh huh. Yep. Oh, and look at this. A parody of Ted. Yeah,
You know,
Con.
I could see them doing a Japanese movie like that. Like
Yeah, me
them not
too.
doing the Soul Society stuff. It's if it's just this con they could literally just have Ichigo like, can you get away from me? Because I don't need you here, all right? I gotta go to school.
Uh huh.
And
Did
he's like,
Bleach do a TV series? I forget.
I don't think they
Anyway.
did.
Okay.
After Ichigo's battle with Grand Fisher, he encounters a Quincy named Uryu, who was kind of a rival at first. Yeah, Ishida. Yeah,
I like his design though.
yep.
Wearing
And
white.
it's impressive how he creates these light arrows and stuff.
He reminds me.
question.
You guys, I don't remember the name of the character, but he looks like a guy that was in Witchbuster a little bit, but I can't remember. Who.
Oh,
I don't know, but it's a possibility that he could have been inspired by Witchbuster. Because you got to remember a lot, like everybody in that world, everybody
Welcome,
takes
Creep.
everybody.
Thanks for making it.
My bad, guys. Like I kind of dozed off and I didn't see the link, but I'm here. What's going on? What are we talking
Yeah,
about?
Hey,
this came to
We're going to the
Uryu.
Quincy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we came to Uryu Ishida after going through the first after going through Ichigo, Rukia, and the Hollows that he first
Okay.
in episode 9. But there are more to talk about as we move along.
Bet. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Uryu Ishida also proposed a wager to Ichigo on how many Hollows each of them could take out.
Oh,
And
okay.
Yeah,
Bet. Yeah. All I just know is season 1 of Bleach, is I like the first opening. The opening is pretty good.
yeah,
I like the end. I like the ending too, because it's
Yeah.
actually sung partially in English.
Yeah.
Which a lot of like that and the Naruto ending, the first ending, don't cry,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
That-
don't cry. That one's pretty good too. I got pretty much all of Naruto the first season on Blu-ray. I mean,
It just sucks
Oh,
for
man.
legal reasons that Naruto couldn't get their actual openings and endings. We had to get the Seban treatment and get a dub theme
oh,
because
okay.
of copyright.
I mean,
There was-
it's better than the German opening for Naruto.
Naruto,
Believe it. Believe
believe it.
it. So,
believe it.
Oh boy.
Believe
Yeah,
it.
but did Bleach have a terrible German opening too?
I don't know.
yeah. But during their game of fighting the Hollows, Chad comes into contact with one of them, where he at first barely sees one of them fully, but is able to get a good glimpse at it from the heat signature. He knew it was after him, and he decides to lead it right away from civilians and over to a opening place where it would not do much harm to civilians. But along the way, he ran into Ichigo's younger sister, Karen, who was also who was with a couple of boys at her school on a baseball field. And here,
That's
oh,
I
and
what's
like
here,
up.
Chad. I like Chad a lot. He reminds me of Brock from Pokemon if he was buff and very intimidating,
yeah.
but he has a gentle side to him too.
He's a lot more stoked than Brock was.
No, but he cares about his friends though. That's the thing. Like both him and Brock have in common. It's like he'll fight for you if he knows you,
That's what's up.
Yeah,
and if
but
he doesn't, well, he'll just be like very stoic and not care.
yeah, his right arm is like a rocket arm of some sort.
Looks like he's
Yeah.
been going to work lately.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in the show. Like again, like when I seen Bleach, it was like I fell asleep watching other stuff, and then I'll wake up in the middle of Bleach, and then I just watched it from that on. So like, really, the only characters I really know is Ichigo and the girl that was helping him out.
Yeah, Rukia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rukia. Like, and then other than that, I would just see all the filler episodes, and then I was usually watching other stuff as well.
There is
Yeah.
quite a number of filler.
Yeah, well, Bleach, you know, I wouldn't say it was like my favorite anime out of the big three. I think I was more of like a Naruto guy. Yeah, I was more of a Naruto guy out of the big three at that time or whatever. So, but because
yeah,
Bleach was
You
not
know,
that. I ain't gonna lie, Bleach was
I
not
think
the thing that I went to a lot. But now the 1,000-Year Blood War arc that came like a couple of years ago, that's what I've been watching. Like, I recommend you guys watch that one or ever to the audience.
I was a Naruto fan more of the big three, but I picked Bleach over One Piece. I'm gonna be honest, and I could be wrong, right? Saying this, I just think One Piece is a little bit overrated. It's too overhyped. I get it. Pirates are cool, right? But come on,
I-
man. Ninjas
I-
and fucking samurai grim reapers. Come on now. That sounds
think-
way better than pirates.
Like me and my man Vagabond, we got a couple of friends that are like hardcore One Piece fans. So like,
Yeah.
they got the straw hats waiting for us for saying this, but I'm just gonna say it like, One Piece is like I think it's just I don't think Oda has an ending yet because he's still trying to like milk the fans. That's just my
He got sick recently, I heard.
he did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's getting old, so I think the ending is regardless taking him a while. I think
Well,
I think the
He better
windup
come
that
up
he
with
had
an
planned is
ending.
big.
He doesn't want to end up like what's his
Kensura
name?
Mira.
Yeah, for
Berserk.
Berserk. You don't like at least he had a vague idea of an ending. You don't want to end up where you can't finish your story when you're alive. And you have
Yeah.
to come up with concepts that you had crumbs or ideas to your staff people in case the inevitable happens.
Problem
You
with
don't wanna
Mule,
end up
they
like-
took breaks for like years on end.
Yeah. The only reason why I haven't gotten into like I watched One Piece and then from what I liked, I did like it, but when they left Tanami and came back and I was like, wait a minute, Japan is 400 episodes ahead of us.
Yeah,
I'm
it was
like-
bad.
Yeah, I was like, well, fuck this, I'm gonna go watch something else. So that's my extent with One Piece. It's just like okay, because I grew up watching Detective Conan or Case Closed, wherever you like to call it.
Yeah.
And like I was really into the story and I'm like, okay, well we're not even getting back to the main plot. It started becoming like Scooby-Doo episodes. Like the last episode didn't really matter for the episode a couple episodes ago or whatever. So then it just became redundant and I'm like, okay, are we ever getting to the point of the plot of him trying to get back to an adult and who
The
were the
answer's
guys
no.
yeah, so I was like, well, all right, I'm staying away from super long ass shows. I'll watch something that's like maybe 56 episodes or 100, like Yu Yu Hakusho or something. But other than that, if you're going to the 1,000 marks, then I'm out.
Yeah.
See, I always tell my friend, well, one of my coworkers, I told him like, in my opinion, and once again, this is just my opinion or whatever. If if you can't if you can't wrap your series up within 500 episodes, I think you're kind of overrated as a storyteller. In my
Yeah, I
honest
know.
Also, like,
Yeah.
how far were we behind in Shippuden when he got over here? Weren't we like 100 back?
Yeah, it has a
Yes.
lot.
Yeah, a lot of
Way lot.
episodes.
Well, I do know it takes like 3 days to get through 100 episodes, which I've done for Yu Hakusho whenever you watch it, where
Yeah.
I'll watch nothing else, but I'll
Yeah.
watch Yu. Like when I watch Yu Hakusho, I watch that shit hard. Where I'll sit in episode 1 and I don't watch anything else till I finish the last episode. Then I watch other shit. That's how good Yu Hakusho is.
Pretty much. I've literally finished I've finished watching my 3 Halloween animes. Like I finished watching Yu Yu Hakusho, I finished watching Soul Eater, and I finished watching Hellsing Unlimited already. I think I might be able to fit in Death Note again. I think I could do it.
Would you consider Bleach a Halloween anime because of the
Yeah.
theme?
It's semi horror.
Yeah, it's pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty much.
Pretty
like
much
that.
indeed.
It's pretty
And
much
would
there.
you consider Black Butler technically that too?
Yeah.
I guess so. I mean, we talked about it on my stream the other day, but
Black Butler. Man, like the first season. First season was good, but the second season it just got really weird, man. Like, you know.
Yeah. And here's
yeah,
a Menos
that's-
Grande.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
and check out the
Oh, go ahead, man.
yeah, and here's the Menos Grande. You know,
Mm,
yeah, Wicked One. Kind of like your Bleach Hollow version of the nun from the Conjuring universe.
okay.
yeah.
Also, that's a colonnade of several hundreds of other hollows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Composed of
Yeah.
100 of hollows. It like a conglomerate, like a hollow conglomerate.
Bit.
But not to cut things short, I do have to head to GameStop and pick up my pre-order. So I know
Yeah.
not everyone's into. I know people have a love-hate relationship with Nintendo. But
Oh,
I'm
you gotta
also a
pick up-
collect.
pick
I'm
up
also
your
a
Pokemon.
collector. Yeah, you get some exclusive bag or whatever for pre-ordering, and so I'm going to collect my bag. So all right. Well, thanks
you
for
didn't
having
say
me
you
on.
had a Switch too, so
Oh, I don't have a Switch 2. So I have the regular Switch, which
He's
I
going to
pre-ordered for
support
the
the
Switch.
store.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
all right, well, thanks for having me on. We can probably do it some other time. Again, too, I don't really know that much from Bleach, so,
Yeah.
so
Taking up the panel, man. Taking up the panel. Not playing. Dog.
right,
Yep.
right.
I catch you later, man.
All right. Take care, everyone.
later,
Okay.
dude.
Take care, very good. All right. Menos Grande is kind of also like a tree-based hollow composed of 100 souls. The first one that Ichigo defeated was the last hollow that he and Uryu had to confront. Yeah, eventually Ichigo, being as persistent as he was able to overpower this mega motherfucker and send him back into the Wakamundo running scared like shitless and crap. Yeah, and it started pulling the tear like a blanket and started playing peekaboo, hiding back into the Wakamundo. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny too.
Yeah. Is there like a specific arc that you guys like in Bleach? Like
Well-
your guys' favorite?
Like mine's the one where Ichigo meets Nell and goes into the Aizen's castle to find Orihime.
Yeah.
So nobody stabbed me, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't really like Bleach.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, and I will say I did give it a fair shot because I was like, oh, I know a lot of people are, very much in love with this, they're, they engage a lot and they're compelled by the story. So I was like, when Giratina invited me to come on, I was like, oh, cool. Finally, I can, I should get into this. So I cracked open I bought a copy of volume 1 and I started diving into it. And by about page 25, I was hurting. Because what was it? It feels like it kicks off, at least with the manga, it feels like it kicks off pretty messily. Because it starts with the one fight scene with the hooligans that like kicked over the shrine and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing with like kicking off your story with a fight scene, I mean, you can do it, but it has to be immersive. You have to draw people in, they have to be able to taste the blood on the air. The air itself has to be like heavy and thick. You gotta, you have to really, draw people in with it. And I wasn't really feeling that. When it started after he meets Rukia, right before they run off to face, I think right before they ran off to face Sora, I started feeling like I could get into it because then I was like, oh, it's starting to pick up. I could get into this, but it felt like I mean the premise is great. The premise is awesome, and the world that crap, I can't remember the manga's name. I just blew a gasket. Kibo?
Yeah, Kubo.
Huh?
Kubo.
Thank you. But yeah, I was the world that he's got set up is pretty great, but it feels like the manner in which he chose to open the story was not very refined. And so it felt like the second or third draft of what he was trying to do as opposed to the final one. Like let's say he did like 8, let's say the final draft would be like the 7th or the 8th one. It felt like for me it felt like the second or the third. But I know a lot of other people I know a lot of people are very much in love with it. So I do respect it, and I do see where the appeal is, and
Yeah.
he clearly expands and refines it more and more as the series goes on. The start was just kind of shaky, and I had trouble getting into it.
Yeah.
Nah, that's fair enough. I mean, I think that's what every type of fandom, man. Like, see, I watched like the first couple of episodes of One Piece, like, because one of my coworkers asked me to watch it or whatever, and I can see why people like One Piece. Like, I can see why there's a huge fandom for it. I can see why people enjoy where the story is going. It's just for me, once again, like we just said not too long ago, it's just a task, man, just to like get all the way to just to catch up to the main arc. So
Yeah, the pace with One Piece specifically, the pacing is awful, especially with the anime, and then
all over the place.
Yeah, well, yeah, and then also I will confess, I have enormous respect for Oda Sensei, but his choreography, especially in East Blue and shit, what's the second one? Something Baroque Works. His choreography for fights is atrocious in the beginning.
It got significantly better in Sky Islands.
Okay, yeah, because I was reading I read the manga because for me that goes a lot faster than just watching the show.
Yeah,
and I don't watch anime. I confess I don't watch it. I don't watch any anime on 2x speed because I feel like that's cheating.
Yeah, same.
I like to savor it, but
yeah.
Who we got up here? Giratina?
We got Renji.
Yep. Redhead Renji. Yeah, Wally Wingert's character in the show. Yeah.
Dude,
I
I
can't-
remember back in the day when Bleach was popular, I was at the store and I saw a Renji t-shirt, like a button-up shirt with Renji, and I think maybe Ichigo was on it, or it was just Renji. That's how huge Bleach was over here, that they were selling merchandise at like Walmart and other stores.
That
With
it
the-
escaped the Hot Topic prison.
Yeah, it was. I don't even think Hot Topic was selling anime stuff like that, unless it was like Dragon Ball or Yu Yu Hakusho or Naruto. But like, it was in
Yeah.
Walmart, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Walmart's a huge company.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, my opinion, like, when it comes to Walmart, like, they actually have better shirts than like Hot Topic, in my opinion. Like,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but-
there've been some shirts where I'm like, hey, yo, didn't I see this in Hot Topic or whatever? Like, it's like $8.
Because Hot Topic would like do the rough print of a ball, but first, like maybe this will stick.
Also, Renji, he was a good rival to Ichigo. He was really good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
he's essentially the
Sasuke.
cool bad guy for a while.
Yep.
Well, he
He's
was
just-
basically like, I don't know how to describe him. Like, if it was like Naruto, it would probably be like he was
Sasuke.
like Kakashi if like Sasuke, basically like Itachi if he was like Kakashi, like good, but he's like don't mess with me or we're gonna have problems type of vibe, right? Like it was
Yeah.
like a frenemies. They were on the same team, but they did not like each other. They're like, get out of my way.
So it's kind of like Guy Sensei, probably.
Yeah,
more than
with
anything.
Kakashi, but like, no, I'm gonna outdo you because I can.
Yeah.
So they were on the same side.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Renji was gonna turn bad, and like no, it was just a frenemies vibe.
Yep. And right after Ichigo got ambushed and defeated by Byakuya, Rukia surrendered herself to him and went back to the Soul Society with her adoptive brother and uncle. Then Ichigo and crew got desperate and they needed to start heading out to find Rukia. And so he brought Orihime, Uryu, and Chad with him, while accompanied by a funny guy who was voiced by Kyle Haybear. And I mean, who was it? I mean, I forgot the name of the character that Ichigo was with when he was ambushed by the Ikaku and his friend and his witty friend. But do you guys remember the name of the guy?
Yonoichi?
Not Yoroichi, the guy in green.
Just watched it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think here.
Ah,
Yeah,
here it
yeah.
is. Yeah, this guy. Ganju.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, Ganju, the funny guy. Yeah. Yeah, he was Kyle Haber definitely fit the guy. Yeah, he was a funny dude. And hilarious when getting beaten up by his own sister. His sexy hot sister. I mean,
He reminds me of he kind of reminds me of Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star, just with longer, spikier hair and wears a bandana.
cool.
He kind of reminds me of a little bit, but then again, everybody take inspiration in the manga / anime community, right? So like, literally everybody copies Goku now, right?
Yeah.
Like Luffy is Goku, Naruto's Goku, and then Ichigo
It's just
obviously
shonen.
would be Yusuke, and Jotaro Kujo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah. It's just shonen tropes. It's
There's
everybody's
nothing
gonna
wrong.
copy
Look,
it.
it's a tribute.
Yeah.
It's a tribute. They're not fully plagiarizing them. It's a homage.
Homage. Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with that, right? As long as you don't make them look exactly the same, other than changing their color of their costume out.
Yeah,
We're not
'cause
wandering into Gitama territory yet.
Yeah, like
they-
you don't want to do that. It's okay to take inspiration, but like if
Then,
you're
like-
literally ripping them off and you just change it slightly, like Gene Simmons said. Speaking of which, right? Since we're talking about Bleach now, he plagiarized Bleach. He stole from Bleach and made his comic.
Oh, he
Oh,
did?
All right.
he
Yes,
did?
true
I didn't
story.
know.
Yes, he had to cancel his comic book series because of the plagiarism accusations.
Like
well, they're not
what? Was he,
accusations.
was he tracing?
oh,
He traced. He changed the colors, but it's literally the same characters.
Hilarious.
It was
Yeah.
literally
Wow.
panel for panel the same fucking thing. All he did was change their hair color and change their color of their clothes. That
You
was it.
gotta not choose one of the popular ones if you're gonna do that.
Yeah, dude. If you're
Yeah.
gonna do that, you gotta take hodgepodges of a bunch of stuff. So people are like, well, I took inspiration from many things. That doesn't mean I plagiarized
You
it.
know you're still
Yeah, he took inspirations from a lot of things, like each individual page.
Because I heard this great quote, guys. Right? I said, if you copy from one person, it's plagiarism. If you copy from a bunch of people, it's research. Right? And
Yeah.
it's true. It's true though.
Yeah.
If you take it from multiple
yeah,
people,
because you need to do a 10% change.
Well, didn't Windbreaker try doing that, and then they got called on it too?
Yeah,
Not
look,
not
if-
Windbreaker from
if-
Kodansha, the other
if you're
one.
gonna take heavy inspiration, copy from many people. Don't take from one because then it's gonna be like, whether you
Yeah.
intend to do it or not, you're stealing. You're
Right, you
outright
are.
copying.
Also, you probably have worse writing.
yeah.
I mean, with a,
So take from
I mean,
multiple
with Akira
people.
with Akira Toriyama, like he got inspiration from many like action movies, like when he was doing Dragon Ball or whatever. Like
Yeah,
you
he-
know,
And,
Gotta
and
love-
sci-fi
gotta love
movies
the
like Star
movies.
Wars, Alien, Predators.
yeah,
What
Mhm.
what's a Blade Runner? He took inspiration from Blade
Yeah.
Runner because of the androids.
Yeah.
yeah,
He took it from, as
Yeah.
long as he took multiple
Back to the Future.
inspirations. Yeah, Back to the
Back to the
Future.
Future.
As long as he took it from multiple, and also Dune as well, because Dune
Yeah.
copied Star Wars copied Dune, so
Yeah.
like he indirectly copied that as well.
yeah. But he was always a fan of it, and like he also liked the kaiju's too, and Super Sentai. So he took a lot, like you said, he was researching, like you just said,
Yeah,
like he
it's
didn't plagiarize,
research.
he researched.
It's research / homage. When you take multiple things from many different walks of life, that's not stealing. When it's one person, maybe two, you're stealing.
Yeah.
You're not.
And
It's
here's
not
the-
even a debate. You're stealing. You're literally you're pulling a Gene Simmons son here and just
Oh,
tracing and copying.
Yeah. And speaking
Yeah.
of
Totally
Here's
not
the-
Orochimaru.
character you would ever find in Bleach. Yeah.
It's like a Orochimaru.
Yeah. I mean, look at him. He kind of looks like he's from some kind of horror movie where he's some kind of a puppet or of some sort.
It's like a snake.
He looks
Yeah.
like a cross
Yeah,
between
snake.
Kabuto and Orochimaru.
Yeah, I know. That's
And also
probably the joke.
Orochimaru's son from Boruto looks strangely like him. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah.
He,
It's almost like he's acknowledging, yeah, you copied Kabuto and Orochimaru, so I'm gonna do it better.
Do you
It's
guys
like-
Yeah.
remember?
I mean, wow.
What was it? Oh no, never mind. The chin's not sharp enough. I was gonna say, oh, he kind of looks like the how Iggy was drawn in the Maximum Ride manga, but then I was like, oh wait, no,
Yeah.
because I just looked up a picture of Iggy and his chin's not sharp enough.
I mean, both of the artists are really cool with one another, so they probably just like called each other up and saying like, "Hey, like I'm gonna borrow your Orochimaru design. You cool with that?" Like, I don't care.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
because Orochimaru
look.
and he probably showed up in their mangas around the same time.
yeah,
Yeah,
Then
so
you
like he
borrow
could
Orochimaru.
say, well, I don't know about that, but you got to remember this stuff takes months to publish, right? And they're
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
same offices, so they look at each other's works before they publicly publish it
Yeah.
in Japan.
well, that's what I'm
So,
saying. Like, they probably
he
gave
saw
each
it.
other a call.
Probably
like,
saw it. He
Hey,
probably
if
saw
it's okay with you, can I? Like, I like your Orochimaru design. Is it okay that I borrow that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
And
know,
check
the-
his name out.
I-
Ichimaru.
Yeah.
Orochimaru
yeah.
and Kimaru.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
wow.
they probably just like topped it out, like because most of those guys were cool with one another. They were like running the same tracks, so it's all good. You
Well,
know?
Naruto is basically Super Saiyan Goku, right? He's
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
just like blue eyes, the blonde hair, the
Yep.
colored clothes that he wears, an orangey red color, right? It's literally Goku.
Yeah.
So
mean,
much
they're
so. Yeah, go
They
ahead.
all, I mean, I'm just saying they're all like got inspiration from Goku. Most of them.
Yeah,
Most
well,
of them.
most of them, like, or
Yeah.
or Kenshiro slash, basically the JoJo characters. If it's
Yeah,
like Yu Yu
Joseph.
Hakusho
Yeah.
or basically Ichigo. So it's like you said, it's either Goku or Kenshiro that people copied
Yeah.
to make their modern shonen characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing
Nothing wrong with it because that's what you need. You need a archetype character like that. That's great to be inspired by.
Oh, and here's the burstiest bombshell of the show.
Yeah, I
Yep.
call her the Tsunade of the Bleach world because that's what she was.
Yeah, she was close with Genichi Imaru as well in their childhood years.
Which is, again, she's basically Tsunade. And not only that, but in the manga, her hair is actually more blonde. In the anime, it's orange.
I think
Yeah.
it's more easier.
Yeah,
it's probably to bring her closer to Orihime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like an
that's
upgrade
probably
of
why.
Orihime.
And I
She's
know
like an upgrade of Orihime.
also
Right.
I think it's like with Japan, like they probably didn't want to make her like make a homage to America because usually that's what they do sometimes or whatever. They didn't want to make her American, probably.
Oh,
Well,
I
for
see.
that, you guys might want to check out Burn the Witch.
I'm
Mm.
surprised that they
That's essentially British Bleach.
I'm surprised they didn't have her have an American accent or like a Californian accent by a Japanese voice actress. She's like, that's radical, dude, right? And just talks in Japanese for the rest of, like, she'll say English phrases to reference her being American.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
yeah, the sexiest character of the series, Rangiku. Man,
Yes.
yeah,
I mean,
That-
you could say the same thing with Demon Slayer. Like Demon Slayer copied off of Bleach, kind of.
Yes, kind of. Yes.
Yeah.
And the samurai aspect too. Like, but then again, it's like, again, everything's a derivative from each other, to be
Yeah.
fair, right? Like, you can only come up with a natural story, right?
Yeah.
For so long. Like, everybody copies from everybody. It's like for example, right?
Mhm.
Superman is literally a copy of Hercules or Jesus Christ or Moses or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Hercules
Or
or
Zeus.
Gilgamesh.
Like, it
Yeah.
just, like, everybody knows this. You could
Yeah.
only do certain characters like that for so long without copying each other.
Yeah.
But don't
Exactly.
try to do it on purpose. You can do it
Yeah.
indirectly. You could be like, well, I didn't really think about that. I just thought of a cool idea. And
I mean, if you take Demon Slayer for instance, it's basically Roni Kenshin, Bleach without the supernatural superpowers. Like it's just human.
yeah, it's
human
more samurai. It's more samurai inspired than
Yeah.
less, supernatural chi energy.
Yeah.
Demon
Yeah.
Slayer also executes the beginning of the story much better. It doesn't wait so much for people to get invested right at the start. Especially when you read the manga, you see that. What is it? Tanjiro's family is introduced, and then the inciting event is structured
Yeah.
very similarly to the inciting event with Ichigo and Bleach, but it's done. It's done to be much more engaging and compelling, is what I
Yeah.
noticed. At least reading the manga.
yeah,
Because I mean, this was the one thing that I wish that the creators of Demon Slayer did not do. I wish they did not tell us that their power, like their sword power, is just them swinging a normal sword. I'm like, don't say that. Like,
Yeah, that's dumb. Like what are you trying to do? A One Punch Man? Like as long as you practice every day,
yeah,
you're
No,
gonna
but I
basically.
mean, I actually really like that part of it because it stretches that it does stretch that belief and it makes you think like, wait, could somebody actually push themselves this far and train this hard and do this?
See-
What like One Punch Man pushes it way beyond the realm of possibility.
well, what I'm saying,
Demon Slayer just
yeah.
like brings it right to the brink though.
Well, what I'm saying is like I love I kind of wish they would have kept that curiosity. They explained too much on how like the sword style like works or whatever. Like the fact that they just said like the stuff that you're seeing, it's just them just waving their sword normal, but like we but to us it's like a superpower type of thing. I don't think you need to explain it like that. You just need to just show us. I don't think you need to tell the audience that, in my opinion, or whatever.
Yeah.
I agree. Less is more. You don't want to over-explain things to people.
It's like,
Yeah, he kind of
Unless
looks
it's
like
an
One Punch
important to the
Man.
plot, you don't want to explain too much.
Yeah, he
mean-
kind of looks like One Punch Man with that bald head and that looks in his eyes and stuff. I mean, Ikaku is such a maniac. He and Kenpachi are both maniac soul reapers, and
mean,
Ichigo, for
I was just-
Ikaku,
oh,
for
go ahead.
Ichigo,
Mhm.
I mean, for Ichigo, it was fighting Ikaku was like child's play, but Kenpachi was a different story, way different story.
Mm-hmm. No,
Yeah.
I was gonna say like with the, I mean, I'm gonna use like Roni Kenshin. I don't know if you guys seen the original Roni Kenshin, like with the hit the
Yeah.
Mitsurugi style or whatever. Like you didn't really have to explain it. Like you just knew that that's his signature move. It's like it's basically a godlike move, and like we could just go from there. Like they didn't have to. You didn't have to explain everything. And I think that's what for me like kind of made Demon Slayer in my mind go down as an anime because they like you said, they explain way too much. However, way too much. Less is more, like you said.
Yep.
It's just soul control. Move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ichigo defeated Ikaku with a big strike with that big butcher knife of his, but then he starts using that oil, all the oil that Ikaku had inside his Zanpakuto to patch them both up. Yeah, while everyone else, including Chad and Urya, were dealing with other Soul Reachers, Ichigo later, 4 to 10 episodes later, confronts Ikaku's master, Kenpachi, the number one maniac. Yeah, quite scary looking guy with that spiky hair and stuff.
How do you even pass the exam without having his Shikai?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you gotta
Kenpachi
wonder.
was pretty cool.
Yeah, he was kind of like the best Soul Reaper captain of the whole Soul Society when it came to his lust and appetite for fighting.
He's voiced by the guy that plays Jiraiya, I believe.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
David
did.
Lodge. Yep.
Yeah, but he got recasted in the later episodes, right?
Yeah, but at least he got to fight Noritora while he was voiced by David Lodge.
yeah.
Yeah. Lodge was more effective as the voice of Kenpachi. Well, David Zayas, I think I wouldn't.
David Lodge, like I think a couple years ago, when the 1,000-Year Blood War arc happened, he was upset about that. But it's like, dude, you gave up the role because you were busy. That's
It'll
why
happen.
they don't have to bring you back, dude. I'm not trying to be a dick. I actually like David Lodge a lot, but it's
Yeah.
like, dude, when you say I quit or I don't want to do this because I'm busy doing something else or I don't want to do this, you can't just come back and say I want to come back and do this.
Also,
Yeah.
it's a separate project now.
Yeah.
It's not like you're like a famous celebrity like Dwayne the Rock Johnson or like Tom Cruise, where
Yeah.
you could demand to have a role and they'll just
Yeah.
cast you without questioning you or give you an audition. That's not
It's-
how it works, man. Especially in the English dubbing anime community,
they kind of got their people that they like or whatever. Like, you know,
Yeah. Like case in point, look at what happened to Vic. Like he got blacklisted everywhere because all people are kissing ass. So
Yeah, like right now,
Yeah.
it's like Johnny's about the only one who can demand a role.
yeah, Johnny Young Bosch could probably say,
Sean
"Yeah, I
Kimmel.
want this."
Yeah, Sean
Or-
Schimmel, Christopher Sabbath, like,
Yeah,
like,
the old heads.
yeah, the
yeah,
old
like,
hit.
they could lobby for a role if the people they know likes them. But if
Yeah.
it's people that they don't know, they're not going to give them a fucking job.
Yeah,
Nope.
like
Yeah, because
Crunchyroll.
Funimation's gone.
Well,
Crunch-
not really. It's
Crunchyroll
just
is
a different
Funimation.
color. It's a different
yeah.
color paint and change the name. The original Crunchyroll died when they moved from
Crunchyroll,
San
I know.
Francisco to Texas. It's not. They didn't really die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but all that weight's gone.
Crunchyroll is
Well,
Funimation. Crunchyroll is Funimation now. Like, that's all it is. It's
That's
like,
what it is. It's just they changed the name, changed the logo, and changed the color. They're still in Texas. If they
Yeah.
didn't move to, if they would have stayed in California, then I'd be like, okay, Funimation's dead. It's not. It's just
Yeah.
they didn't really die.
Like, it's
Crunchyroll is dead. The original one is dead because they
Yeah.
moved out of San Francisco.
You want to know why? You
They
want to
went
know why
legit.
you want to know why they moved to Texas? Because some tax breaks. That's what that was about.
And because
like,
they don't want
Yeah.
unions. They don't want
Yeah.
unions. And they fired the guy from Mob Psycho because of that.
Well,
Yeah.
wait, did they? What part of Texas did they move to?
Dallas.
I think
I thought it was
Dallas.
Austin.
Thought it was
Yeah,
Dallas.
I was about to say that's
Yeah.
only like a marginal improvement if they moved to Austin.
No, they
Yeah.
they usually like they basically the old studio of Funimation, like, all from what I heard, they took all the Funimation stuff and just put all nothing but Crunchyroll stuff now. Like, you know, you just go up there if you want to.
Well, yeah,
No,
because it's just a mirror to Crunchyroll.
No, but it's like, to me, it's like everybody was saying, "Oh no, Funimation's dead." It's like, no,
No,
if
it's
you
not.
the OG Crunchyroll is dead. The new one, aka Funimation, that's alive and well. They just changed their colors,
Yeah,
their logo, and their name. That's it.
Justin
They didn't
Cook is-
do anything.
Justin Cook is still in charge of everything. Like,
Yeah, Chris Babbitt, like, did anything really change?
No,
Nothing changed.
they just took
It's
off the
business as usual.
they just took off the Funimation badge, Crunchyroll badge. We're employed by Sony. How you guys doing? Like,
Don't send presents to our mail. We will give them to everyone.
Yeah.
It's
and it sucks because I don't get me wrong, I would love to do voiceover work someday, right? And I
Mhm.
might have to interact with these people, but I don't like how they screwed over Vic by lies and accusations.
yeah,
And I don't
mean,
like the fact that Damon Mills, who is a predator, he admitted it himself. He was in love with a 16-year-old.
Let
That's
me,
what he said.
You want to know what's the hypocrisy part about this, my man? Is like all of them did ghost stories, like,
Yep.
all of them. Like, you guys done the most egregious, like, English dub of all time that could get you canceled, and you guys pretend like you guys never did. Like, we don't recognize your guys' voices. Like, you all were guilty, or some of you guys did Shin-chan and everything. Like, you know, but yeah, I meant like pretty much almost everybody from Funimation or whatever, and like from most of my experiences, everybody was nice, everybody's cool or whatever. But it's like you were saying, Vic Mignogna, he got Monica Rial, you evil on that one, man. You are
He got, but you know
He
why
was
though?
great.
You know why she screwed him over? Because she was in love with him, and he didn't take her advances. So out of revenge, and Chris Abbott was egging her on. Oh, I'll give you a position. They screwed him over. That's what
crap.
happened.
Ooh, yeah, because Vic is happily married too. Like, I think she, yeah.
Well,
it's like-
at the time, he's not married anymore.
yeah. Well, now
Um,
he's married. He's married now. He's still married.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
but you know what's messed up though, because everybody was saying, "Oh, it's just a Texas / Funimation thing, right?" No, he lost his job as what's the name of that dude in JoJo? The artist. Oh my God! What? Not
What, Rizzo? That wasn't Rizzo.
no, the one that like Josuke beat up because he made fun of his hair.
I'm not
Oh.
sure, man. I don't know JoJo's, whatever.
Let's see. It was
Rohan. Rohan. It was Rohan.
There we go. You found it.
Yeah. But fun fact, like I got to hang out with Vic Mignogna like after hours or whatever, and he's like the most coolest dude ever. Like, you know, I won't tell you what we were all talking about, like, but he's funny, man. Like he's funny. I got to hang out with Damian Clark, the one that did Perfect Sales Voice. He's funny, man. Like old girl that does Chi Chi, she was awesome too, or whatever. Yeah, man. Like the some of these guys are really down to earth or whatever, and there's some voice actors that I have talked to about the Vic Mignogna situation. I can't name any names, but
I got you, dude. I hear you, man.
yeah, they even said that he got screwed over, and like it, I'll put it this way. If you see Vic Mignogna with some of your favorite actors on that card or whatever, they don't have a problem with Vic. I'll put it that way. Like they like, you know, I'll just leave it like that. Like, you know, you can put 2 and 2 together.
Or at least the people signing their checks say they don't
Yeah.
have a problem with
I
Vic.
I know one Christina V. She didn't have a problem with him because she never insulted him in public or in social media. She was very neutral. Neutral,
Yeah.
aka I don't want to say that I support him because it's bullshit.
Yeah.
So, but she never bad mouthed him ever. So
Yeah.
I know she likes Vic as a person.
Yeah.
So it's just sad that like nobody can be civilized.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Yeah,
like
it's a bummer.
somebody. You don't,
Yeah.
but don't take away their livelihood because you don't like them. That's evil.
Now
But
I
yet,
can
Definitely.
but yet, David Mills. Oh no, go ahead, MMA. My bad, man.
Okay, no, I was gonna say this because I have a story on it. Because I know a person, a convention owner that employed Vic and Chris Sabbath or whatever, and yeah, he said that he had to separate them two because they were almost about to come to blows one time and everything. I won't name the convention or the convention owner because they've been in the past or whatever. But yeah, the like due due to because you know different religious views and political views too and everything, like they don't like each other for that simple reason. And that's why Chris Sabbath was kind of put, like you said, pushing Monaco Real to like you know take his job and everything. So you know, so you got that too. You got some snake like
because the story goes is that
Yeah.
Vic was gonna get a position just like
Yeah.
Chris Sabat in Funimation,
yeah,
and Chris Sabat didn't want that because he would lose all his power and control over people.
yeah,
Because essentially, besides Gen Fukunaga, Chris was essentially the second in command in Funimation in general.
yeah,
He has his own voiceover studio. He makes deals with Japan and all that.
yeah.
He does distribution for the DVDs and Blu-rays at the time. I don't think they do that anymore.
They still do.
But yeah, but for certain things, not like they used to.
Yeah.
But had Vic got into the fold, he would have had to watch his back a lot more often than he wanted to.
Yeah.
So they basically lied and said that he was, a grapist and a diddler and all this stuff, a child diddler, and
It's
it
not
was
true.
unfounded. It was not true, and that's what irked me. It got me upset because in the
Because
past,
his name got
guys-
ruined. His
No, no,
name got
because
ruined.
here's
Yeah.
the thing: when this shit happened,
Mhm.
a year prior to this, I got falsely accused of being a peeping Tom.
Ooh.
and the story was this fucking bitch said to the cops that I climbed like on the second floor because where I used to live, the apartment complexes, right? The rooms were in the second floor, right? The kitchen / living room was in the first, and the bedroom / bathrooms was in the second. And I know that because that's how it used to be. So she said that I saw her undressed. And
What?
I did not fucking do that, because if I were to hypothetically do that, I would have to get a fucking ladder. Which
Wait,
I
you're not-
didn't have a fucking ladder, so how would I fucking do that?
Do you mean you're not Spider-Man?
No, I can't climb on walls and stuff and hide. No, so because they didn't have proof that I did it, they fucking let me go, and I was pissed because I knew it. Like, dude, all I was doing was hanging by a tree, just meditating, minding my own business, and then the fucking 4 cops with a German Shepherd dog pointing guns at me, asking me why did I do that.
Wow.
It was fucking humiliating, man.
Wow, bro.
Sorry to hear that.
When the Vic, yeah, thanks, Sarge. So when the Vic thing happened, I did not say, "Oh, Vic was guilty," because I knew from my personal past
Yeah.
that I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that, because that would not be fair. I would be a hypocrite if I would say, "Screw Vic, he's guilty of something he didn't do or possibly didn't do." So I waited for that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was the same way. I was like, well, I was just going based off of my past experiences or whatever. Like, I like every time when I met Vic, it was always good. Every single time. So like as soon as that story came out, I didn't believe it, bro. And like, and I literally just hanged out with Vic this past anime Matsuri. Like, once again, really cool dude. Hopefully maybe one day I could get him on my anime show one day or whatever. But like, yeah, Vic Mignogna, listen, I think he's like an awesome voice actor, a great human being. And like, if you guys have a chance to meet him, man, like it'll be the best. It's be some of the best time ever, man. Because he, like, he's like one of us, man. He's a nerd, or whatever, and he just understands a lot. So,
No, and I
but
wanted him to come over here in Connecticut, and the convention people were like, "No, we can't." They talked very vague. "Oh no, we can't allow this person here."
Bless you.
And it's obviously, yes, Kazun tight.
Yeah.
It was obvious that Chris Sabin and pals told
Yeah.
that convention in Connecticut, "Don't bring him here, or
'Cause-
else."
because
Oh,
Chris,
man.
Chris
Anyway.
Sabbath got some pull, so
And
But
it's disgusting, man, because it's
Yeah.
like I lost when this shit happened. I lost a lot of respect for a lot of those voice actors.
yeah,
A
yeah.
lot. Like it was, and I'm glad, and it's a messed up thing is that incident happened with me. I'm kind of glad it did in a way, because if I didn't experience that, I probably would have said no, Vic's guilty, without
Yeah.
paying attention to the facts.
Yeah.
And it's terrible that I had to go through that, but like
Yeah.
I'm like, no, innocent till proven guilty. I can't go by, "Oh, my feelings, it's sad, I'm crying." No, that doesn't prove anything. No, did it actually happen? Can we see video footage? Can we see multiple witnesses verifying this?
Yeah.
Until then, no. But it's just sad because I liked Chris Sabat, I liked Sean Schimmel, I liked Monica Rial, and then they do this shit.
Yeah.
And and nobody in the anime industry can say shit about it because they want to work for Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
So they can't say, "Well, fuck them for lying about Vic."
I'll say this. I know Vic is still cool with one of the producers. Keyword, I said one of the producers. I don't want to put it like no, like put his name out there or whatever. They got plenty producers at Crunchyroll, so I won't name their names or anything. There's plenty of names on both sides. I know he's cool with that person or whatever, and he could bring him on, but it's just too much stuff. Like, it's like you said, because like, Chris Sabat's ego, Sean Schimmel's ego, and Monica Rial's ego or whatever prevents him for putting him back with those guys or whatever. And honestly, if I'm Vic Mignogna, why would you want to go back to a place where you know that half the staff doesn't even want you there. You know what I'm saying?
I
Yeah.
agree, but the
Yeah.
Gina Carano thing, right? And I'm
Yeah.
not defending that. Like,
Yeah.
my first instinct was like, Gina, why would you want to go back to Disney / Star Wars when they blackballed you?
Yeah.
And it's just because so she can get other work outside of that
Yeah.
bubble.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not because she wants to go back there. And
Yeah.
so if Vic, I'll tell you this, if Vic has to do one Crunchyroll anime series without their involvement in it just to do more stuff in the community, I'd be okay with it in the condition that he can get certain jobs back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's true.
that's what I would be okay with that in
Yeah.
all seriousness. And
Me too.
it sucks because I don't want Vic to not do any voice roles anymore.
Yeah.
Because like I know he's working with Anime Matsuri, but
Yeah,
those
but
aren't
that's not-
full-fledged anime series. Those are
That's not
shorts.
enough.
That's not enough.
That's not enough or whatever. And I
And-
know I know he from what he's saying that he does a lot of book book recordings or whatever. Like people been hitting him up. That's what he's been making most of his revenue. Like I mean, he said this plenty of times that at his panel. Since he doesn't do a lot of voice acting in anime as much anymore, like a lot of people been hitting him up for book work or whatever. So, you know, if you're trying to get Vic Mignogna to voice your book, you know, you got to hit him up or something. So, I mean, what I do is like I got plenty of anime Blu-rays or whatever with Vic Mignogna stuff. I try to at least get him something every single time when I see him or whatever. I just want him to get a little change, you know what I'm saying? You know.
Yep.
Yeah, because he should be supported no matter what. The thing that irks me is like he can't play Brawly no more.
Yeah.
I like Johnny Young Boss, don't get me wrong,
Ain't
and I'm
the
not
same.
insulting him. I am not insulting him in
Ain't
any
the
way.
same. Ain't the
Not
same.
no negative thing. My only issue that I have for this PR stunt is they don't want people to be pissed off. So Johnny's brought on board. But Vic said himself, I don't see nobody but me playing Brawly.
Yeah.
He said it in his own words.
Yeah.
I don't
even
see
said-
nobody but
he
me.
says he says he respects Johnny. Like he believes Johnny's a cool dude, but like you said, like
Okay.
you gotta stand on business. Like if you know you the best, you know,
Yeah.
you gotta.
Oh, and yeah. Vic Mignogna was the voice of Ikaku.
Yeah.
But also, while we're still on the subject of Bleach, soon as we pass episode 49, Ichigo and his companions had to rush to get to the top of Sokyoku Hill to rescue Rukia. But first, there's a character we miss.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bow out, man. I gotta get ready to like go to work tonight or whatever. But yeah, I had to
It was good.
kind of.
It was good talking to you, MMA.
It was
Do,
nice
do you
talking
got a
with you.
do you got
Take
a
care.
Discord or something?
We do got for the homies Discord or whatever. And also if give me 1 second. Hold on. 1 second right here. I'll share our channel real quick for
Yeah, plug it up, man.
give me 1 second. Podcast. All right.
Yeah. You're able to put it in the private chat, right?
Yeah, I'm about to do it right now.
Sure.
Copy link.
Sure.
I'm
I'll
about
post
to.
it in the chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna post this for the homies podcast right there in our chat. Yeah, so we have our show tomorrow at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. Our good friend Jeff up north and his crew called Drink Up is gonna be our guest. So we're gonna just talk about some culture war stuff, some pop culture stuff. So yeah, man. Thank you for having me on your pod, man. I'll love to come back and do this again sometime, but
Sure.
yeah, I gotta get ready to go to work and stuff. So.
How about the 29th for Blade?
let me check or whatever. Let me check my schedule and I'll get back to you, man.
Thank you.
All
Take
right,
care,
then, man.
Chris.
Peace out, man. Y'all
Peace
take
out.
it easy.
All right, you take care, man.
Take care.
See you.
Peace.
Now, here we have Yororichi. Yeah, a, a sexy, gorgeous, dark-skinned chick.
Yeah,
It's
who
quite
was
attractive.
originally a cat. She was a cat, right?
For some reason, voiced by a guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the original idea either it was like supposed to be a surprise, like the Samus thing, right, from Metroid,
Yeah.
or or he wasn't sure, aka he retconned it out of his ass. Kubo probably didn't know he was gonna make it a girl, probably to surprise people. They're like, yeah, guys, see, it's.
Check.
Feel bad for the I feel bad for the voice actor was voicing the cat because he can't do a male version.
Yeah, it was
There's
crazy.
there's an independent artist out there, Shaxio, who does some banger art pieces of Yororichi, Orihime, and Rengeku.
Really?
Yes, they're all like they all have like that thick woman physique. But
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'll send
Wendy
it to you on
Rejoice.
Twitter. Don't pull it up here, but I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you on Twitter.
No need. I'm cool.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm fine. But hey, Yuricha is quite a hottie to Ichiko that she was naked when she revealed herself to him, and that she ended up making him freak out a lot. Yeah.
She also has purple hair, which
Yep.
I'm surprised they chose purple instead of the black to represent the black cat aesthetic, but
Yeah.
I
That-
guess
that is
they
what-
wanted to come up with something different.
You know, she's extremely toxic.
Well, in Japan, purple and green are like seen as like wicked colors. They're not seen as good colors. That's why, like in Naruto, Orochimaru wore purple, like on his belt, right?
Yeah.
And like when Goku turns Super Saiyan, sometimes it's like his eyes are green, because that's not good.
Yeah. Imagine this being imagine her being played by Halle Berry in the live action version.
If this was 20 years ago, absolutely, this would have been great.
Well, if Bleach came out in the 90s, maybe.
Or Stacy Dash would have been another good choice.
Yeah, great idea, fellas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
purple haired Stacy Dash or Halle Berry.
Yep, definitely. I'd see one of those two matching Yororichi in real life. Anyway, let's get back to Sokyoko Hill. Because on this hill, Ichiko had to start beating the crap out of every Soul Reaper that was in his way. While the leader of all the Soul Reapers was dealt with by by a couple of his favorite squad captains. And while Ichiko had bested Byakuya in a fight, they later on we finally figure out who was actually responsible for orchestrating the events, including carry out the orders of trying to have Rukia executed on that hill. And there he is, everyone's favorite anime villain, Sasuke Aizen. He's quite a clever devil, ain't he? Since the very beginning. Yeah, he made his move by betraying one of his loyal followers and only had kept Genichimaru with him. I mean, after Ichigo bested Byakuya in a fight, it kind of left others vulnerable to Aizen's tricks.
Yeah, Aizen reminded me a lot of Kabuto from Naruto. He was very like calculated and cunning. Like he does not show his true self until the end. He doesn't want people to know his true self. He likes to hide in plain sight,
Yep.
which is pretty cool. I like that because it kind of
Yeah.
makes him like a ninja or like a spy / like some like fake which obviously he's wearing glasses. He doesn't need to wear fucking glasses.
Yeah.
He's just doing it as a disguise.
Yep. Yeah, he is Japanese too, by the way, but he also kind of looks like he could be played by someone like Killian Murphy or Guy Pearce in live action too, given that look. But we know he's Japanese.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Anybody that looks like a male model in a manga or an anime series, if they look European, they're most likely Japanese or Asian.
Yep.
That's always the cliche. Like, yeah, guys, no, don't. He looks European, but he's actually Japanese. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Eisen was quite a tough guy. He was able to block Zanbakutos with his own bare hands. Even Ichiko's Zanbakuto. Yeah. Yeah, he was like an unstoppable one-man army with all that power he has in him. Yeah. Seeing how he's managed to block a Zanbakuto, man, you would wonder, what is this guy made of? Yeah. Yeah, Renji was protecting Rukia while Aizen overpowered Ichigo with his tricks. And my god, he sure knew how to pulverize him. But also there was Kaname, another one. The blind one. Who is kind of, yeah, tossing a blind Soul Reaper captain. Well, can't tell. Sorry, I stuttered too much.
You're
It's
fine. Don't
man.
worry.
Don't worry about it, man. Just let it out. Like, to quote the Eminem song "Lose Yourself." The words might not come out, but just got to do it, man. Just got to
Yep.
lose yourself in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, Kaname was close with another Soul Reaper who was hiding underneath a basket mask.
You know,
I
he kind
kinda
of
forgot-
reminds me of, Star Trek, right? The Next Generations.
Mhm.
The guy in the guys, in the visor thing. You know what I'm talking about? The guy who played Kunta Kinte in Roots,
Oh,
Yeah.
and the guy from Reading Rainbow.
Yes.
I think they took inspiration from that.
yeah. Yeah, they sure did.
It looks cool. I like the way they designed him. Oh yeah, I think I know why they call Bleach Bleach, because it's a play on the words, right? Because you're cleansing souls, right? And what do
Yeah.
you use bleach for? To clean the dirt or the filth on your clothes or on the floor if you're mopping.
Yeah. Ah, there's this guy who kind of looks like a badger. With that, I mean,
He's a box.
yeah, yeah. Just like in other anime, Bleach has crazy looking characters, including this guy right here. Looks like a pharaoh, who looks like a sphinx come to life.
I'll give Kubo this. He was always designing his characters so different from each other, and he would always design different clothes for different for every chapter or episode for the characters. A lot of manga artists just said, "No, we're just going to use the same outfit because it saves time and money."
Like Oda with his Nami face everywhere.
Yeah, I call it the
Yeah.
same thing with Akira Toriyama, same face syndrome, like Bulma and Chi-Chi. They're literally the same person. You just slightly change the face and eye color, and they're a different woman.
There's a reason she changed her hairstyle like 5 times.
Yeah.
I see it a lot in I see that a lot with just like Western fantasy novels and Western science fiction novels. And there are some authors who will actually like encourage like Joe Schmo like average looking character designs, but when you have that that doesn't really stand out to the audience, and you can't really you can't really use you struggle it makes you struggle to use the protagonist to draw people in, because when you have somebody that just looks like just like a guy, like you turn around and there's like five other people that look like him, walking across the street behind you, then it's like, there's it doesn't really draw you in. So it's good to have like the standout character designs.
Yeah, and this is what Eisen was really after, that Rukia was in possession of. It's called the Hokyoku, and he used it and he would later in the series use it to create Arancars and Espadas. Well, some powerful breed of Arancars and Espadas out of it.
Also, Sarge, right? You know what espada means, right?
Well, it's elite.
No, well, maybe in the context of Bleach it is, but no, espada in Spanish means sword. So the fact that Bleach they use katanas and swords for the series, Kubo knew what he was doing by calling that an espada.
Yes,
I
you
like
can
it.
tell that everything's Spanish. By the
Yeah.
time
I like
I
that.
got
I
to
like
Milo Grande, you can tell.
No, I like that
Yeah.
they did the European / Spanish route to this, because it would be a boring, like, run of the mill Asian / Japanese anime series if it's just let's just talk about Asia / Japan all
Where
over.
it's Tsukuyomi again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like they're making references to European / Spanish stuff. I like it. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah. In the end, Eisen escaped with Gin and Kaname at his side with the help of an enormous owl called Hoovier. You know this big thing. Yeah, so enormous that this thing, Masa along with the Menos Grande, escorted Eisen and his escorts back to Wakamundo.
Is he is Hoovier based on a water bear or a dust mite?
No idea.
I thought it was a parasite, if anything, like or a cotton ball / parasite,
Yeah, because what is it? What's it?
like a flea,
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
the
something like that.
water bear. That
or like
kinda
a
looks like
tick.
it.
but
No,
it's
not
white.
not a tick, because the body structure of the tick of a tick would be different.
Yeah,
know?
but like basically various versions of bloodsucker / parasite animals that like just feed off of like other life.
Mm-hmm.
And a hollow, right? It's a parasite. It feeds off of spirit / living beings. So you kind of get the idea on that.
Yeah, but I'm sure we can go through more of this next year because, well, we can't give away too much. We gotta make sure there's plenty of Bleach to go around in the future too. So we'll need to make sure.
Plenty of Bleach to go around. I know what you mean, Sarge, but it just sounds out of context if somebody that doesn't know about the manga and anime. It's like, oh, let's pass on the Bleach and drink it. Come on, guys, let's go and guzzle it.
Yeah, because that's a VG Cats joke.
Yeah. Well, I have the next stream that focuses on seasons 4, 5, and 6 set for January 28th next year, guys. So be sure to hit the notification on when you come across the stream on my channel. And thank you again for coming.
Yeah.
I
Thank
know
you.
yeah. It's past midnight here where me and King are, so it's about time to close up shop.
Oh,
But
I'm
thanks
I'm
again.
I'm in your time zone too. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, thanks again, guys.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, take care.
All right,
You
adios,
as well.
guys.
Thank you,
Yep.
and thank you all for watching.
Yep. And let's play an outro. Just for fun.